everyone, it's John from Wotseries, and welcome back to another video. And tonight we're talking Wheel of Time show news. There's been quite a few things in the news since about mid-December when I did my last big news video. So we're going to do sort of a roundup and mash them all together into one video and talk about a bunch of different things. First off, there was a number of cast interviews over a bunch of different platforms. We're going to talk about those today. We'll highlight some of the more important bits and give you links and ways to watch or read all of these different interviews. We're going to talk about a major content creator in the Wheel of Time community, in my opinion, probably the primary content creator in the Wheel of Time community, taking a little bit of a break. We're going to show a blooper reel that was released by the Wheel of Time social media accounts that features a ton of different cast members from season 2 doing wacky and weird behind the scenes things. It's something I really wanted to see for a very long time. And then we're going to talk at the very end just a little bit about other content creators. So I used to do something on my channel way back when I first started called the community section. It's where when I was a very small channel, and arguably I'm really not that big of a channel yet anyway, but when I was very small, just a couple of hundred subscribers, I would always try to highlight other Wheel of Time creators in my channel. Big, small, it didn't matter. If I saw what they're doing, it was Wheel of Time related, and I enjoyed it, I'd like to feature it here on the channel. We sort of got away from that in the last couple of years because we've been really focused on news and leaks and whatnot. However, our community has grown by leaps and bounds. Whether you like the show or not, it has brought a lot of eyes to the Wheel of Time, including a lot of new content creators. So we're going to start featuring content creators every couple of videos here on the channel, try to get some fresh eyes on their work, and if you like what you see, definitely go and support them, please. And if you are a content creator yourself, want to be featured here, just drop me a line. There is a fairly big backlog of people wanting to be featured on the channel right now, but it'll definitely add you to the queue, because in my opinion, if it's Wheel of Time stuff, it's good stuff. It doesn't matter how many content creators out there. I don't consider any number too many. I like all things Wheel of Time, and I like consuming any Wheel of Time content and get my hands on. All right, all of that being said, before we get into the video, we have to give a little bit of a spoiler warning since we're talking about the books in the show, and some of these interviews very lightly touch on some things that happened during Season 2 and things that are happening beyond. So, spoiler warning, if you've not watched the first 2 seasons of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show, streaming right now on Prime Video, or have not read the first 4 books of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, The Dragon Reborn, and The Shadow Rising, I may reveal very slight plot points and character arcs from both of those mediums. We're talking very slight spoilers here, folks. I'm not going to ruin the ending of the series or anything like that, or ending of these books, but I'm going to be mentioning different plot lines and characters in some of the responses to the interview questions today, so you've been warned. All right, let's get on to the video. All right, so we're starting off with interviews. Around mid-month December, right up until the first week of January, there were dozens of interviews with the Wheel of Time cast. And I'm not exaggerating here, there were a whole lot of them. So many that I can't feature them here on the channel, so I want to highlight a couple of other creators that I really enjoy that I thought did a fantastic job with these interviews, and then we'll sort of give you a Cole's notes of what the big points of some of those interviews involved. I'm not going to give you the specifics. I want you to go and watch this stuff. I do support these other content creators. They work hard for these interviews, and they definitely deserve your view. But we're going to talk just a little bit about them, and then I'll try to highlight all of the other major publications that did interviews, because it wasn't just Wheel of Time content creators. These were big publications that did a ton of different interviews. So the first one I'll talk about is Wotseries. I mentioned Wotseries on the channel here a whole lot. I really do. They're great friends of mine. They're absolutely fantastic people, and they do a great service to the Wheel of Time community. And I, for one, am incredibly happy they got an interview with some of the cast. One of the things that they've been lacking for quite some time is official engagement. They do a lot of leaks like I do. They cover a lot of different aspects of the show and bring a lot of eyes to the show, especially in between seasons. But they don't get a whole lot of official content from Amazon and Sony, and I'm really glad to see that they're getting that kind of love right now with real interviews from the cast. Now, these interviews included Kiara Coveney, Daniel Henney, Donald Finn, Ferris, Kate Fleetwood, Marcus Rutherford, and they covered a wide gamut of issues. So we're talking all kinds of different things. Who read the books? Who enjoyed the books? How far they are in the series? Were they aware of payoffs of certain storylines with their characters or other characters from the show? And does Matt change his clothes for Season 3? Well, you have to go and read all their interviews on their website to find out the answers to all of those questions, and a whole lot more. They're transcribed perfectly, so they're really easy to read. It's laid out in a really well thought out fashion, and the links to the Wotseries interviews are at the top underneath the description down below in the description box. Definitely go visit wotseries.com and bookmark their page, and 100% read every single interview. Leave a comment, say you're from Wotseries if you haven't heard of them before. Now, the next content creator I want to talk about is Taka Randrioid. If you don't know who they are, Well, you're probably living under a rock. They are one of the biggest Wheel of Time podcasts. They're good friends of mine, and I really love their content. I've been on their podcast a couple of different times, and they're always great fun. They have all kinds of really great segments in the show, and I've left a link down below to their YouTube channel as well as their podcast. So they do have a YouTube channel where they showcase their actual podcasts that they record. I will say that the interviews are audio only for the most part, because the cast didn't want to actually show themselves. I believe some of them were on set at the time, and because they're still filming in South Africa. But Talker Henry got to interview a ton of different members of the cast. That's Zoe Robbins, Keira Coveney, Donald Finn, Kate Fleetwood, Madeline Madden, Marcus Rutherford, Ayoola Smart, and Natasha O'Keefe. They talked about how difficult the scenes were that they shot, what they were able to do on sets, a bunch of Easter eggs in the show. They covered a ton of different things. Again, I've left a link to their YouTube and their podcast down below. If you haven't already subscribed to them, please do so. Consume that content, watch these interviews. They're highly entertaining, and I really, really love them. Next I want to talk about is Winter's Coming. Now, Winter's Coming is a website dedicated to a large portion of geekdom. So we're talking a number of different fan bases, not just Wheel of Time. Talking about Game of Thrones, you're talking about a number of different things. And if it covers news, leaks, or rumors, they'll cover it there too. And they were able to secure a number of different things over the past year officially, but one of the ones I was really excited about was an interview with Rand. Now, this interview with Rand, which I've linked down below in the description box, you can find this third underneath Wotseries and Talker Rand talks about a bunch of different things. And including, and I didn't give spoilers for this, but for those of you who've read the books, you'll know what I'm talking about, certain scenes with Min, as well as the box. That's sort of a, well, you know. And I won't get into it more than that, but they talk about that in the interview. Really, really well done interview. And great to see these really dedicated Wheel of Time content creators getting some official love from Sony and Amazon. And in addition to them, and by no means any lesser, but in addition to them, there were a ton of interviews from Decider. I've left links to them down below. There's a lot of them. If you want to read them, there's probably maybe 8 or 9 there. Colider as well. They're different. Decider and Colider are different things. Blooper, Nerdist, Gizmodo, Screenrant, and Dragonmount all did interviews with some of the cast. And oddly enough, most of the interviews didn't overlap. So if you want to just consume Wheel of Time content about Season 2, things that are coming for these characters, the mindsets of the actors portraying them, you kind of have to watch, listen, and read to all of them, because there's a lot there. Thankfully, I've made you a handy-dandy list down below in the comment, or in the description box, rather. So if you folks want to go through one by one and click on them and take a look at them, be my guest. Please do so after the video. I highly encourage you to support all of these content creators, but especially Wotseries, Talker Android, and Winter's Coming, because they really truly did deserve to get these interviews after so long of a sort of a dry spell. I mean, the other publications, they're big publications and they get a lot of different official stuff, but this is kind of a big deal for sort of homegrown Wheel of Time content creators. And speaking of homegrown Wheel of Time content creators, the quintessential and the best of us is Matt Hatch of the Dusty Wheel. He is the Wheel of Time fandom embodied. He is the absolute best of us. He's a good friend of mine, an amazing person, and an amazing content creator. Now, he is one of the hosts over at the Dusty Wheel YouTube channel, and he's decided to take a break from content creation. Now, this is widely known in the fandom right now because I was on his big 12-hour Land Fear live stream a couple of weeks ago, which was his big send-off, his big last hurrah before he had to take a little bit of a break. And anyone who watched the Dusty Wheel knows that he's not going to be around, but Anas, the other Innkeeper, who is holding down the fort while he's gone, is doing a fantastic job right now. So the Dusty Wheel is still putting out content, still putting it out multiple times a week, which is a hard thing to do. Now, until you're a content creator, you really don't understand how difficult this is and how stressful it can be in a number of different ways. I'm lucky in the fact, and so is Matt Hatch and a number of other content creators that I'm very good friends with, that we don't really do it for money. It's not a job. It's more of a hobby, something we do for fun because we really love the Wheel of Time. And that takes a lot of the stress off of what we do. But I myself have had to take breaks in the past, as well as some of the other content creators. It's a healthy, normal, wonderful thing to do. And I wish Matt all the best during his little break from the Dusty Wheel. And he will be back. He has mentioned that a number of times. He is coming back. And in fact, I think you'll see him back in time for Wat Idol this year. Now, if you don't know what Wat Idol is, it's something myself, Matt Hatch from the Dusty Wheel, and Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern conceived a few years ago. It's a Wheel of Time song parody contest where we invite fans to submit song parodies to us, and we rate them, and have a good time talking about them. Let the community vote on which ones get to win. There's actual prizes for the winners. It's a huge contest. It's a lot of fun. We usually have some really special guests. In the past, we've had a number of members of the cast on with us, and it's just a good time. He has promised that he'll be back for that, so you will see him back for Wat Idle later this year. We're talking probably early summer for Wat Idle. And I'm very excited for that. But in the meantime, I wanted to wish Matt a fond farewell and a good break from the Wheel of Time community. We all needed to recharge once in a while. Now, speaking of the Wheel of Time community, the next bit we're going to get into is some bloopers. So the Wheel of Time is a wildly successful show. Whether you like it or not, you have to admit that it is wildly successful. But it is missing a few key and core elements, in my opinion, of big shows like that. And that's a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. We do get to see some of it with X-Ray. We get to see some of it with releases. But what they really do with this stuff is they kind of save it up for social media, and they release it to continue engagement with the show in between seasons. That's where we see this kind of thing. So we recently got I think it's a little over 4 minutes long blooper reel from the cast and the official Wheel of Time X account, or their social media accounts, and it features a whole lot of really fun stuff. I'm going to show that to you folks now, and then we'll get on to the creator section afterwards. But if you haven't seen this on X, and I know a lot of you who watch this channel don't have X accounts, I promise to keep you up to date on things that are going on in X. This is where that was released by the official Wheel of Time account, and it's pretty funny. So without further ado, here's the blooper reel that they released just over a week ago.
Rocket.
I told him that I want you to kill him. So I've said that line wrong. That you want him to kill... I told him that I want him to kill him.
No, you didn't get it right.
I didn't get it right?
No.
I told him...
I want him to kill you. I told him I want him to kill you. Let's reset.
I told you him that he wants him to kill you.
Someone's gonna kill someone.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
Wrong side. You did well. You did it right. That was me. That was me.
You like. I should go from the beginning. Go from the beginning.
Love it. How'd you know?
Sorry, I can't see anything.
Now I can see it.
Run. He'll show you where.
Oh, sorry, I looked at the wrong.
Well, my bra came off as well. I was like, pull me bra. Can't help your friends from inside the back. Oh, sorry. I jumped in the line and I get my mark wrong. Go. You can't help your friend from the back of a case. Sorry, can I go again? No, garbled. It was like I was chewing Lego. Sorry.
Are you not entertained?
Don't have to let her. Just don't have to let her. Sorry.
Sit that chest way into the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Step down in the middle of the room.
I was thinking about the chest.
Pick up that chest.
Damn it. That's gonna be part of the blooper now.
One for the bloopers, huh?
That's 90.
Bless you.
Sorry again.
Bless you.
I grew up somewhere like this, with a place with lots of planes and helicopters and
Drone.
What's going on out there?
I think I know where we are. We're bloody miles away.
All right, so how fun was that? Like, I love blooper reels. I've always loved blooper reels ever since I was young. When I started watching the Jackie Chan movies, that's what introduced me to blooper reels. He used to do a blooper reel at the end of every one of his movies, and they were a ton of fun. In fact, a lot of times I would watch the movies just to watch the blooper reel at the end because I love the blooper reels so much. You don't see many of them anymore. I think Adam Sandler does them for some of his movies, but blooper reels are, I don't want to say a thing of the past, but it's not something you see very often, and I super love them. So the fact that the Wheel of Time official accounts kind of compiled this together and released it, a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and a really smart way to keep engagement going during kind of the dry spell between seasons. Speaking of that, if you haven't already done a rewatch, please do so. I'm going to push this in every single video I have in the next little bit. They still have not greenlit season 4. Season 3 is still filming right now, though. We're filming till the end of March. We have quite some time between now and when season 4 would actually release. But the more times you watch the Wheel of Time, the more completion that happens per account. I think that's what Amazon uses as a metric for success, is a completion rate. So you've watched the whole series, the better chance of us getting season 4. And I know myself, I have it on loop on the phone, you know, watch it a fair bit. So if you like the Wheel of Time, make sure you're rewatching the seasons over and over and over. Now, that being said, we're going to go right into the community section, which is what I'm going to end the video on. And this is something, like I said earlier, that I did before when the channel first started. I featured other Wheel of Time content creators. In fact, I featured a number of very, very large content creators now when they first started out. These people are all very passionate about the Wheel of Time. They all really, really love the Wheel of Time, and it shows in what they do. So again, if you're one of those people, drop me a line and I will feature you in the community section of one of my videos. We have a couple people lined up right now, but there's still plenty of videos to come in the coming months to add all the new content creators in. Because let's face it, the fandom has kind of exploded, and so is content creation, which is great. I think more Wheel of Time is good. So the more the better. What we're going to talk about tonight is this Wheel of Time, My Turning of the Wheel. This is from Low Budget Family Hour, Colider on YouTube. They're a member of a number of different Wheel of Time sites. They are very active in the community, and they have a great love of the Wheel of Time. So this is a YouTube series that is a manga-inspired retelling of the Wheel. So it's a whole lot of fun. It's kind of playful. If you really like that sort of thing, it is definitely look out for if you like kind of like visual graphic novels or visuals of the series. This is something you're not going to miss. A whole lot of time, effort, and you can tell a lot of love was put into this by someone who really, really enjoys the Wheel of Time. Go check them out. I've left a link to their channel down below in the description box. I put it above all of the interviews because I just wrote them all out, and I realized that there was probably 100 lines of just interview stuff there, and it's going to be hard to sift through all that. So they're above all the interviews. If you want to check out their channel, please go do so. Leave a comment, say you came from Wotseries, and hopefully you enjoy their content as much as I did. It's really, really fun to watch. So all of that being said, speaking of fun, there is something that I did in the channel last year that I kind of want to revive. I have a couple of guests lined up for Talking Wheel of Time with. I used to do a series called Wheel Talk, or What Talk Tuesdays, where I would release me just sitting down with notable people in the Wheel of Time fandom or notable people in general and just talking Wheel of Time. Think hot ones with no wings, no food, no real interview questions, and just kind of Wheel of Time related weird, awkward conversation. That's pretty much what it was. But we did get to feature some really interesting people. Claire Grant, the actress, was on the channel. We had London River, the adult actress, on the channel. We had a number of members of the show, both of the stunt team as well as cast members. We had a number of really notable Wheel of Time content creators that come on the show, talk with us there. It was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We kind of let it go to the wayside a bit here at What Up because of all the news and the ramping up for season 2. I kind of want to bring that back. We're in between seasons now. I think that would be a whole lot of fun. I do have a couple of guests lined up for the next few weeks. I'll be working hard to try to find more for you folks. But if there's someone that you think would be interesting, that you want to see in the channel, it doesn't matter who they are, but if you think they're going to be interesting, as long as they're a fan of the Wheel of Time, I would love to talk to them. And that means a little bit of work on both my part and your part. So if there's someone you folks want to see, tag them on social media, reach out to them, try to start a campaign to have them come here to the channel and talk with me. If it's someone you really, really like, drop them lines, do what you can. I will be doing the same for you folks, calling out to different prominent people in the Wheel of Time community and elsewhere, trying to get them here on the channel, and I hope to kind of revive that and get a few guests for you folks, because it really was a whole lot of fun. I enjoy it, just talking about the Wheel of Time and recording it and then letting you folks listen to it. It's kind of fun. Either way, if you want to see somebody, help me out here. Try to pull some Twiiter strings and see who can get on the channel. Now, thank you so very much for sticking with us here to the very end. Here's to many more.